Hello Chocs and Chocettes, no in between, Roberto here for another video review. We've got, well, two reviews really I guess you'd say, because we've got the Jaffa Cake's Zesty cake bars and the Cosmic cake bars. Yeah. Now, I had this one on the back burner for a long time in my to review pile, and then the Halloween range of stuff's come out, chocolates and chocolate cakes and things. And I realised that basically these two are pretty much look to be exactly the same. This one's just, I think it's just, yeah, they just repackaged this one basically. So the Cosmic cake bars was out first, and then they've just basically repackaged it as this Zesty cake bar with a Halloween tang, I guess you'd say. Ironically enough, yeah. So very interesting. Yes, I mean, I'd say they might not be the same, but there's. Can you see that there? That's what one looks like, and try to see if I can somehow show you what they both look like on the packet. I think that's hopefully showing you. Can't tell. Yeah, so they've basically got like a purple sponge and like an orange topper. Yeah, so yeah. So as I say, good excuse to review these at long last. Yeah, so speaking of reviews as well, I've done about 660 odd now, maybe 670. So in this corner up here, you'll see a link to a list of all my other reviews. So after you've liked this video and subscribed to my channel, please feel free to go check those out as well. Watch them as well if you can. And I've got a membership program going on for YouTube as well. So if you want to watch some exclusive videos, go check out that, and the link will be in there as well. And I've got a Patreon also, of course, as well. But yeah, you probably do either or really. So but yeah, I think check out the YouTube member program, as I say, first of all. It's the same difference really, but I think the YouTube one probably gives you a bit more. Okay, so back onto this. Not lingering on that for too much. Yeah, so very, I don't know, I'm always a bit disappointed with these cake bars, in truth be told. The McVitie's ones, there's several problems with them. The first one is that they usually have so much empty space in these packages. They have like enough space for at least half another bar, and they have loads of space on the top as well. And also I find that they usually don't really look as good as they do on the photo, even though they don't look too great on this one either anyway. And yeah, and also the other thing is that they don't taste that great either. So they don't have much going for them, but I have been surprised. There was one I did last week, reviewed one, which wasn't called, I did have an imaginatively titled name. I think it was just something like chocolate cream cake bar or something like that, but it was actually quite nice. So you never know, they might have turned a corner, but this is an old product and it's been repackaged as this one. So yeah. So how do I know they're the same? Well, or why do I think they're the same? Well, obviously the appearance is a big thing. They both got purple sponge, obviously that orange top, but also both Jaffa Cake related as well. But also the fats, saturated fat, the fat and the calories are exactly the same. So you've got 97 calories each, 3.5 grams of fat each, and 1.8 of which are saturated each. And even the sugar levels and the salt is the same as well. 11.6 grams of sugar, 0.11 grams of salt. Yeah, and what's the description? Dark chocolate purple sponge and a zesty orangey centre. Whereas on the that's on the zesty orangey cake bars. Whereas on the Cosmic ones, dark chocolate purple sponge with an orangey centre. So there you go. In fact, there's a good place to see the what they look like in the descriptions there. So you can clearly see they are pretty much the same bar. I'd be very surprised if they're not. Obviously, orange is by default zesty, isn't it? So I mean, you know, the fact they've just changed the description slightly. So the on the back of it as well, the official description on the Cosmic one says a blend of dark crackly chocolate, purple sponge, and smashing orangey centre. Whereas on the other one it says cake bars with dark chocolate, purple sponge, and a zesty orangey centre. So it's gone from smashing orangey centre to zesty. And it just says dark crackly. So unusual, yeah, dark crackly. The Cosmic cake bars, you know, normally on that description it's a very unglamorous description. It's just literally this is what it is. And the Cosmic one, they've used lots of, you know, adjectives or whatever, like, you know, crackly chocolate and smashing orangey centre. I guess they use zesty in the other one, but yeah, they don't normally do it. They normally just give it to you straight, you know, on that one. They have like the glamorous sort of description on the side here or whatever. And on the back it just literally says white chocolate or whatever it is, you know. You know, it could say a smooth blend of white chocolate with a nice, I don't know, crunchy biscuit centre, and then on the back it would just say white chocolate covered biscuits, you know what I mean? And yeah, so it's interesting to do this one here. Yeah, both say no hydrogenated vegetable oil, no artificial colours or flavours. Both literally say that. Yeah, okay. Well, as I said, both very similar. If you can hear some tapping noise, by the way, it's raining a lot outside. And when it rains a lot, it starts to tap on my windowsill. So if you hear that noise, it's not someone trying to get in or anything. It's or trying to get out. It's just the rain on the windowsill. Okay, well, I think there's probably not much more to say, so we should give these an open then. Quite excited. I'm pleased to finally get around to doing these, and this has provided me a good excuse. I'll say it's nearly Halloween. I think you would say this is a Halloween product. I mean, it doesn't say Halloween on it. There's nothing. It looks more Day of the Dead-y, doesn't it, really, than Halloween. But nonetheless, I'm sure last year they released these around this time as well, and it's clearly meant to sort of be Halloween without being Halloween. You know, maybe, I don't know, political correctness gone mad, would you say? You know, who knows? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess obviously, you know. Well, so, I mean, you know, fair enough. There are some people out there who might think Halloween's a bit sort of, I don't know. It's not quite like it was when I was younger. Halloween and things, it was, you know, it wasn't unusual to have, like, I don't know, maybe cartoony like, but so you could dress up as, you know, you'd have a trident, Satan's trident, you know, you'd have Satan, you know, devil badges, you know what I mean, things like that. I don't think you get the, I mean, you might do. I mean, I you know, I've not been in the Halloween persuasion for a long time. You know, I've not bought costumes or anything, but I think it's mainly ghosts, skeletons, witches, even witches. You could argue perhaps a bit. I don't know, maybe you know, maybe you're being a bit un-PC these days. I don't know, you know, all this pentagrams and stuff. But I'm quite sure you don't get all the idea of summoning demons and all this, that, and the other. All these sort of, what do they call it? All the arcane. I'm sure there's another word for it, but I can't. The occult. That's it. I don't think you get any of that kind of shenanigans going on as much these days. Yeah, I play a card game called Magic the Gathering. I don't know if you might not have heard of it. Maybe if you have, let me know. but basically, yeah, some of the old cards we were back in the 90s. They had, they did have sort of, you know, they did. It's like a fantasy card game, and it's got fantasy new elves and dwarves and stuff. And they had lots of, the occult imagery on the original set of cards, you know, and lots of things you wouldn't really get nowadays. And it was only, you know, in the 90s, but yeah, you know, and it just shows how things have changed even then, you know, to be sort of un-PC, you know, and you don't really, I don't really consider it, but of course, you know, and you know, it's the way it goes, isn't it? It happens, you know. And I'm sure it'll be the case now in another 30 years or whatever, where some things that we do now we just take for granted are just not PC. You know, funny, really funny. But anyway, yeah, getting on back to these. That's yeah, okay. I think we should give them an open. I don't think there's much more to say. We need to give them an open. Check they look the same, which they will do. I'm quite sure. I'd say you can see the slightly different ones. This one's got a more purple look on the back, the cosmic one. This one's got a bit more of an orangey look, which makes sense. But I guess, you know, it's purple sponge, so the purple does. Yeah. I don't know, they've just gone more of the orange look for this one and more of the purple one for this one. But I think that's because they actually do another flavour of these, which is black currants. So that's more purple, so that's why they've gone more orangey for this one, to differentiate the bars. Whereas this one, of course, is just one on its own, so yeah, there we go. Okay, let's give them an open. Right, okay, once we're going to give these, Jaffa Cakes, Zesty Orangey Cake Bars and Cosmic Cake Bars an open. So there are some flourishes on the side. Nothing is too bad though, they are quite scrunched, but nonetheless there are some flourishes there. Yeah, so it goes to about 23.5 centimetres, roughly. So let's give them an open. Okay. Okay, yeah, so alright, so pretty much an identicalness here, I think you'd say. Yeah. So now you can see at the side here, just back enough screen. You can see on the side here there is some gap here. You can see clearly that there's a bit of a gap. I mean, it's not a massive one actually. I've seen worse. And to be honest with you, there's not a massive gap at the top, but nonetheless there is one there, and it's disguised by the wrapper there. I know you could say, oh well, it needs room for the wrapper, but this wrapper can be laid flat. You know, you can scrunch this wrapper flat. So there we go. So here's what we're up against. So one of each here. So we've got the Halloween inspired or Day of the Dead inspired or both. Yeah, I'll take this one out. It's a bit flat, that one. Yeah. So here we go. So we've got the cosmic one, the cosmic cake bar here, and the zesty. Was it zesty? Zesty orangey cake bar. Zesty orangey cake bar sounds a bit rubbish, doesn't it? I mean, you know, it does sound a bit of a poor name, but that's what they've come up with. Yeah, I think they could have called it something else, but I'm just trying not to. They're clearly not trying to make it in any way Halloweeny, and So rather than say, you know, this one cosmic, I mean, it's clearly like, you know, got this space theme going on. There's this one, I don't know. You could call it spooky or something, couldn't you? You just got spooky orangey cake bar or something, I don't know. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, so now those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, at least a few months, you remember that I reviewed some hobnob cake bars or something. And I actually said that when I review this one, I will see if they fit, because I was saying that basically the gaps in the tray could be explained by the fact that they're having a standard tray size, a standard one of these, and it's a standard size or whatever. But then I said, well, hang on, this size here, and I compared it to the cosmic one because I did it at the time. I said this one is bigger than the one over there, so they clearly make them on demand, you know, than the hobnob one. And here's the hobnob one, and I was saying, I bet you could fit these ones into this hobnob tray. And you can see it's smaller. You can see. I don't think. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, it's smaller. Now, I mean, it might be a tight fit actually, but my point was that you know, I was thinking, well, maybe they save money. It was a cost-saving exercise or a wastage-saving exercise, and they just produce one tray, and that's why they don't quite fit. But that's not true, because I've reviewed last week a bigger one of these, even bigger one where they had like one that was, I don't know, a third again long. But yeah, let's see, can we fit these ones in here? Now, I reckon it's going to be close. Yeah, we're very close. Yeah, the answer is you can almost, if you really manipulate. I don't want to crush them because that's cheating. But you know, you can, if you really were careful. Yeah, I've not crushed these. I've just gently eased it in, and look at that. Yeah, they do go in. Now it's a very tight fit. That is really tight. You know, that is as tight as you can get, and it did take me gently coercing it to get it in, but I didn't crush it, I didn't push it, I didn't break it. You know, it's all, yeah, and it's still budged out the sides a bit. You know, obviously this annoys me. It's the wrong way around. I've got to alter that. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So you can see. Well, yeah. I'll show you now. Look here. Here you go. So there's the 4 that's in there. So you can just prove I've not overly forced it in. You can see there, just gently, you know, I have got to be careful that I'm not damaging it in any way. As I say, you do have to kind of ease it in there, and it is a tight fit. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend it's not, but nonetheless, it has fit in there. You know what I mean? So they produce this tray for another product, the hobnob. I don't know what they're called, hobnob cake bars or something. And they put it in this one. Now I realise, obviously, yes, if a machine's putting it in here, it won't be as dexterous as I am. This, that, and the other. But you know, it's, you know, it's no excuse. They could still do it. You know what I mean? It's they have precision. You know what I mean? You can make all sorts of computers and machines these days. You know, they could even seal this after they've been put in or whatever. You know, yeah. I don't buy it as an excuse. I mean, it might be an excuse, but I don't buy it. I think they really are doing it to make it look bigger than it is. I don't believe it's to make the space, because we've seen, you know, Mr. Kipling, French fancies are very tightly packed. You know, there's no space in there. Yeah, so clearly you can see here, and this is, as I say, I've not damaged them to do this. They have just naturally fit in. They're not bunching out or anything. So clearly, yeah. So you can see here, it's perfect proof. Yeah, that's just not needed, this size tray. But as I say, you know, there is an argument that maybe they need extra space because otherwise they'd be damaged or whatever. But I don't think they need that much extra space, do you? It's almost an extra bar there. You can see. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? You can see there. So yeah. Okay, well there we go. So there we go, proved it. I've kept that tray for months. Okay, so let's open one of each. Now they seem a bit flat, these ones. I've had them for a while, so I don't know if something's been on top of them and crushed them slightly, the cosmic ones. Let's give them an open anyway. We'll give them a measuring thing. So we've got flourishes again here. And we will be showing just how ridiculous they are in there. And they don't fit into the packet themselves anyway. So it's about you'll see what I mean in a minute. It's about 11 centimetres really. Yeah. And it says cake bar with a dark chocolate purple sponge and zesty orangey centre. a blend of dark crackly chocolate, purple sponge, and a smashing orangey scent on the back. So yeah, it contains milk, egg, soy, and gluten on both of them. There we go. Yeah, so quite good these for Halloween. Well, obviously this was meant for Halloween, but so they are individually wrapped, so it helps for handing them out on Halloween. So let's give them an open. It's about 11 centimetres, wasn't it? We said. Yeah, about 11 centimetres, give or take a millimetre or so, but that's about which one's which, really. Well, the Zesty one's fallen apart as I've opened it. Okay. Yeah, so both dark chocolate, aren't they? Well, there's a nice smell coming from them. Dark chocolate, yeah, crackly chocolate. Well, yeah, dark crackly chocolate. Okay, so this is the the Zesty one, the newer one. Now you can see it's fallen apart a bit there, so that's a bit of a shame. But there we go. This is the Cosmic one. So they're both now, yeah. I think they've altered designs slightly. Actually, it was had a bit of a flatter top. This one, the Cosmic one, whereas this one's got a bit of a dome. So they have altered the top, which is not too bad. Yeah, it's slightly apparent on if you look at the front. So they have altered the, yeah. So this one's basically got a flatter top, and this one, I don't think you can quite tell. Off me to know if you can see or not, but you can see it's got a bit more of a domed top. There's a bit of a flat one. Harder to tell in the packaging, but obviously in person I can see. But it has meant that this one's been damaged a bit on the top. You can see it's been pressed and it's cracked on the top, whereas this one hasn't happened. So I don't know if that's why they originally did it. Well, they're both roughly the same size. Obviously there's some chocolate missing on the Zesty orange one, but you can see that with that chocolate it would have been the same. Can put it back on perhaps. Yeah, roughly it's punched up a bit, but you can see they're basically the same size. Yeah, so let's give them a measure then. So the height of it is 7 centimetres pretty much, and it's 1.5 tall, and the width is about 3.4, maybe 3.5 in places. Yeah, and just to check, yeah, about 7 centimetres again. Obviously there's 1 millimetre's worth disappeared on this one, but I've catered for that. Yeah, about 3.4 in width, and height wise about about 2 actually. What did I say before? Yeah, 1.5, that one, 1.6. This one's gone up to about 2. Yeah, 1.9 maybe. So there's definitely a height difference here, and that is to do with the. Well, it's more in the back actually. The one side's a bit crushed, but the this bit up here is higher than this bit. I think it's been crushed a bit there. Okay, let's give them a slice. Now, when the other one collapsed a bit, the spooky one, or the whatever it's called, Zesty orange one, was not called spooky, is it? Some of the orange did come onto the plate, so that's quite nice. It shows it's quite orangey. It definitely seems to crackle a lot more. When I've cut this one, it's just collapsed almost, the Zesty orange one. It could be because it is new, of course, but you know. Yeah. Okay, and it does seem, so there are slight differences. I mean, this one is a bit older, so you have to give it that. It could have faded a bit, but slight differences in the purple and the orange as well. It seems thicker in this one as well, and the newer one. It could be because, as I say, I've just cut it and the chocolate's gone down a bit. But it has got a bigger dome, so it could be a bit more. But they do have exactly the same calories in each one, so you know, there should be any difference. But yeah, you can see with this one as well. This is the newer one. So you would have thought the older one would have been the one that collapsed, but you can see when I've cut it, it's just collapsed through. This bit's just come off, you know, it's completely come off. Yeah, whereas that hasn't happened on the other one. And again, there is an age difference, you know, but you know, I don't know, it just seems to be falling apart, the other one. So they're very similar, as long and short of it, but yeah. Let's open another one of these and just one of the Zesty orange ones. Looks a bit more in better condition, maybe, hopefully. Yeah, this one's in a perfect condition. The other one just must have just had a bit of a bash on it. We can see here now, if I put it into the actual tray, so I'll put it into the proper tray. Yeah, so you can see here, the proper tray, that height difference there. I mean, look at that. You know, it's the height of each individual cake. 7 centimetres pretty much, 6.9 maybe. The height of the tray, obviously we've got a lip on it, but it is about 9 points. Well, I'll say 9.5, I think. So let's see. Yeah, so basically, 2 centimeters there. Well, 2.5 centimeters. So what's that? It's like a third of the bar, if not just a bit more than a third. Yeah, so yeah, crackers that really, isn't it? That's how much you're missing. So of course, as well, that's the other thing. So this is the other tray, the other one. So it's not, well, yeah, it's still a bit of a gap even in this one. Yeah, probably about the same. Yeah, maybe not quite as much in this one. Not quite as much, but still a big gap in the other tray that was for the hobnobs. So again, they could so they could be, yeah. Well, I think they're all roughly the same. Let's just check. Yeah, I think this one is higher. This one's taller. Yeah, the base of it is. It's been pushed out a bit because of just the way it's been handled, but yeah, it's about 0.5 centimetre taller, this one. So again, so the height as well is a falseness to it. Yeah, so basically, if you've got this this top available, obviously 7 times 2.5 centimetres. Well, each one of them is 7 centimetres tall. So obviously the maths there is quite sometimes 14. Yeah, is that 21 or something? Well, no, not 21. 14. Yeah, plus half times 7.5, is it? Whatever. Half times 7. That's 3.5. So yeah, 14. Got about 17.5 centimetres there, if my maths is right. Of extra sort of space at the top, and each one is 7. So 7, 14. So it's 2 over 2 extra cake bars you can have on the top of the tray. And then there's obviously that gap at the side as well we spoke about. If you use the cosmic ones as an example as well, it's another half of one. So you could probably fit another, probably, including this space here, this area of space that's missing, it's empty, another 3 bars basically. So it's at least 2, but I reckon 3 bars you could fit in extra. So yeah. All right, well, I think we should give them a taste. Let's do it. Let's go. Once we've got 2 versions of the same bar pretty much. The slight differences as we've discovered, even though I think they're technically the same on the inside, but there's slight differences in the presentation. Got the Cosmic Cake bars, which is the older one, and the new for Halloween sort of, the Zesty Orange cake bars as well. It doesn't say Halloween on it, but it's got skulls and things, but it's more Day of the Dead like, I think you'd say. So I don't know when Day of the Dead is. I think it's in May, isn't it? But so it's not, can't be for that. All right, so yeah. So we're going to taste the Cosmic one first. Here's the Cosmic one. See that the sponge is slightly lighter purple. Now I don't know if that's because this is a bit older or not, but I don't think so. But yeah, let's give that one a taste first. So, okay, it's a bit flatter on top as well, different, not quite domed. Let's give it a taste. Yeah, it's quite zesty. It's quite Jaffa Cake like actually. The top is just like a Jaffa Cake actually. I was expecting it to be something different. I mean, it's quite as yeah, I mean, it's quite Jaffa Cake like that actually. Sponge doesn't really taste of anything, but it's not unpleasant. It's not dry. It's quite, yeah, it's quite moist, but it's not, well, it's not, I wouldn't say it's moist, but it's not dry. So that's a good start. All right, let's try the Zesty Orange ones then, the Halloween inspired ones or whatever they are. Let's give that a go. Yeah, it's basically the same. I think we expected that, but obviously this one's a bit different. I think the chocolate seems to be cracking off this one all the time. It's just falling off it, whereas it wasn't on the Cosmic one. I would have thought really, I'd say this one's a bit of an older one. I've had it for a few months. I would have expected it to be falling off that, and it does advertise it as crackly dark chocolate, but it's this one's just collapsing. I say this one, when I've cut it in half before, the top's just separated completely from the thing. I didn't do that. And all the chocolate's just cracked off. I don't know if you can see it all on here. This is all from the Zesty Orange one, not the Cosmic one. Let's just try. This is a full one, so let's just try this one. See if it happens there. It doesn't seem to have happened as much in this case. I don't know if that was just a bad one, for whatever reason. But yeah, so we got a full clump of the orange, sort of like the zesty orange filling, or whatever. What does it actually describe it as? Zesty orange centre. There we go. So I think that's, don't say Jaffa Cake centre or anything, but it does taste Jaffa Cake like. And it does have that. It definitely tastes like a Jaffa Cake. So it's quite good. It's got the crackly top as well. Even though I think in the the other one I had it was a bit extreme. And here's a sponge as well, so let's give that a go on its own. Yeah, it's nice and fluffy. It's not bad. It hasn't got much of a taste on its own. It's purple, which obviously is good for you know, I guess making it look a bit different for Halloween or whatever, or space like in this cosmic one. Yeah, they're both okay. I mean, they're both quite nice. I think they are reminiscent of Jaffa Cakes. Not massively different, really. Just don't have that sort of strange sponge that Jaffa Cakes have. It's that odd consistency. Yeah, but other than that, I think they're pretty much there. Yeah, which is, you know, better than I was expecting, I think. And the top definitely carries them. I was going to say it's quite plain otherwise, but I think that's the case with Jaffa Cakes anyway. It's all about that sort of orange top, isn't it? The other bits complement it, but without the orange, it just wouldn't be very nice. Obviously, this one a bit different. I think, I said the sponge is a bit more, yeah, a bit more about it than the Jaffa Cake one. I think just about, because obviously the Jaffa Cake one, as I say, is a bit, yeah, a bit, you know, it's a bit hard on the outside. Yeah, I've probably not said, have I really, what Jaffa Cake is? But it's like a sort of dome of, I have an example of one somewhere. Yeah, here we go. I've got a milk one. This is not an official Jaffa Cake, and this is a raspberry version. But it's this kind of cake-looking thing. It's like a sort of sphere like that, looks like a UFO, with like a top of usually orange, to be honest with you. And Jaffa, I think, is a type of orange, isn't it? I think so. That's where it comes from. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, that's what these are based on, basically. But obviously the official one, which is an orange flavour rather than the raspberry one that was. I quite like these. I mean, they're very much like Jaffa Cakes, just slightly different consistency, really. Yeah. Both the same as well. There's a slight difference in appearance. But they're both the same. The cosmic one and the Zesty orange one are both the same. I think the appearance looks a bit better than the Zesty orange one with the dome top rather than the flat top. I think that appearance does look better. And I'm sure in the past, on the front of the products, they have looked to be more dome-like, and then when you've opened them, they've had that flat top. It's always been a bit disappointing. This one, I think, does look a bit like that. You see, there's sometimes somehow pretending it's a rocket there. I think that's a bit extreme, but I guess you could do that. Your kids have good imaginations, but yeah. So there we go. I think they're quite nice. I think they're basically just like Jaffa Cakes. If you like Jaffa Cakes, these are definitely up your street. I don't think they're different enough from Jaffa Cakes to really. They're just a slightly different. They just don't have that hard cake base on it that a Jaffa Cake does have. It's just softer, really. So, you know, I don't think it's enough to say it's better or worse. I think they're just the same. So I think I'm going to give these a 4 out of 5. Very nice, and I think these probably look the part for Halloween as well. I would think you'd probably say. You know, you could probably give the other ones Halloween as well, really. But of course, these ones are themed that way. You know, yeah, with the skulls and stuff. I don't think they look specifically Halloween like. Well, they do in a way, but you could have them for any time of the year. Really, these ones are not really specifically Halloween. So it's a bit, you know, a bit lazy on their part, I think. But you know, I'm sure they were out last year as well. But nice if they did it a bit more Halloween-like. But I guess it's, you know, it's enough. I think, isn't it? It's enough. But yeah, not too bad. But I'd say you just got the usual wasted packaging again with all these. You know, wasted space. Not necessarily wasted packaging, but you know, the empty space where they could have at least what's to be 2 or 3 extra bars in there. You know, and it's just not on really. And the fact that they've made it wider than it needs to be as well to be a bit more shelf presence. It doesn't need to have seen that it could fit in the hobnob ones that they did. So, which is another, you know, cardboard tray that they do produce. So yeah, that is disappointing. I don't know whether it's not extreme in this case, but it's there nonetheless. I mean, it doesn't look too extreme because it's the top of it, you know, so you don't see it as much, but it is still there, you know. So it should be thinner, really. I mean, you don't, you know, when these, yeah, like I've got these Oreo ones to review soon, these Oreo spooky Oreos or whatever. You know, there's no extra space on top here, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's still long and thin, so there's no excuse for those ones to have to be taller than they are. Yeah, so a bit, yeah, I don't know what the excuse is there really. So I should probably knock it down for it, but I think it's not overly extreme. You're getting 5 bars in the pack. You are getting some chocolate bars I see where they've got massive flourishes and things. You're only getting 1 bar, and there's like a 5th missing. If not, a 3rd missing sometimes rather. 5th is kind of the standard. It seems to be missing. Yeah, and the 3rd is just not on. So that's when you're just getting 1 bar. Whereas this one you get 5 bars, so you are getting a lot. And I don't know if it's an excuse or not, but the cost is usually quite small as well in proportion to what the chocolate bar costs. So these are a couple of pounds for 5, whereas the chocolate bar is probably the same size, maybe not the same weight. You're only getting 1 and paying about 60p for it. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, if not more. Yeah, but there we go. So 4 out of 5. Okay, guys, well, let me know what you think. Yeah, let me know what you think about these Halloween products in general, and also that wasted space, well, the empty space. Let me know what you think about that also. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Oh yes. Oh yeah, please subscribe and like my videos. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all this stuff as well. Patreon or the YouTube member program if you can as well. It'd be great if you could. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye for now.